At the beginning of the story, we are shown a dirty motel room, where a girl named Ju-young was waiting for her client. Meanwhile, Hyang-soo, who was her client, knocks on the door. Ju-young is actually a prostitute, and Hyang-soo is a bachelor who is looking for a girl to fulfill his physical needs. In her profile, Ju-young describes herself as a high school student who just turned 18. So Hyang-soo asks her about her school, to which Ju-young goes silent. Hyang-soo gets suspicious as she couldn't even tell him the name of her school properly. But Ju-young goes to the washroom without responding as soon as the phone rings. On the phone was her next client, whom she was trying to convince to come to the motel room. After the phone gets disconnected, she reaches a room where we come to know that this motel is actually a den of prostitute girls. Their job is to trap innocent boys by luring them with physical intimacy and call them to the motel room. Later on, those boys are kidnapped. Bidding takes place, and the boy is sold to the one who quotes the highest price. Ju-young now goes to the same room where Hyang-soo was waiting for her, and the same things happen to Hyang-soo as happened to the other boys. He is tied to a stretcher. His eyes are blindfolded, and his clothes are also removed from his body. He was sitting on the chair, wearing just underwear. But Ju-young doesn't feel sorry for him at all because this is nothing new to her. After this, the bidding starts, and a Jewish boy named Gag Royal, who had come to arrange a kidney for his father, bids a huge amount for Hyang-soo's kidney. Meaning, here the deal was not of boys, but of their body parts. As soon as Hyang-soo understands this, he starts crying loudly. He tells Gag that he has the money and will arrange a kidney for his father, so don't do this to him. But the bidding continues, and one woman places the highest bid. Gag announces to pay a huge amount to defeat her. But when it comes to paying the money, he is short of 20 million. Still, he wants the kidney at any cost because he loves his father very much and wants to save him. Understanding his need, Ju-young tells him that they also provide loan services. If someone needs a loan, he can take it, but the entire money has to be returned within a week. Otherwise, their body parts will also be auctioned in the same manner. Hearing this, Gag agrees and takes a loan and gets Hyang-soo's kidney registered in his name. After this, some strange sounds start coming from outside, because of which everyone gets scared. But Hee-soo, who manages all these girls, comes into the room and tells them there's nothing to be afraid of. After this, everyone becomes tension-free and starts doing their work. But then tremors are felt in the building, and a powerful earthquake destroys the entire building. The entire floor is filled with injured people. Meanwhile, Gag was still confused whether his father would get a kidney or not, while the rest could not understand what had happened. Meanwhile, Ju-young's eyes fall on the purse of the victim, who was a spy. She wanted to give this news to her boss immediately, so she looks for Hee-soo, but he wasn't there. Instead, she finds his walkie-talkie. On the other side was Director Cook, who was worried about what had just happened. Ju-young lies to him, saying Hee-soo has been killed. But as soon as Hee-soo gets the chance, she pushes him into a pit caused by the earthquake. All the people who were killed here were also thrown into this pit, which included Gag and Hyang-soo. But both of them were still alive. Meanwhile, Ju-young finds herself surrounded by guards loyal to both of them. She tells them that Hee-soo was about to kill Cook, but both of them were not ready to listen. After a while, she spots the chair with which Hyang-soo was thrown down and tries to get out from there with its help. Meanwhile, a news is heard on the walkie-talkie that Cook is dead. But no one knew if this news was true or not, because she was the one who delivered it. His guards, who were loyal to Hee-soo, believed the news and were sure that the police must have done all this. So now both of them try to kill Hyang-soo because he was a spy, and they now want to take revenge from him. Meanwhile, Gag couldn't understand what was happening. He just wanted a kidney for his father, so he decides to save Hyang-soo's life, who was taken by the guards to a closed room where his eyes were still blindfolded. But Gag eventually comes to his rescue and tells him what could happen to him in the future, and begins to sweet-talk him into agreeing to donate a kidney for his father. He begs him to agree, and when the two look around, there are police everywhere outside, but they can't find Ju-young anywhere. She had fooled everybody and left. They check all the surrounding routes to find her, but she was nowhere to be found. Hyang-soo wanted to find Ju-young at any cost, but Gag just wouldn't stop blabbering. So Hyang-soo finally agrees to get his father treated. Hearing this, Gag also relaxes and tells Hyang-soo that it was a landslide. Therefore, the teams in the building had collapsed and tilted to one side. This meant that living in the building was no longer safe. So Gag suggests a way out from here, which was from above. He places a stool and climbs on it to try to get out. But seeing this, Hyang-soo gets scared. Still, both of them had no other way, so Hyang-soo agrees, and both start trying to get out of here. They reach the upper floor where both fight and Hyang-soo throws Gag down. He convinces himself that this is just self-defense. Meanwhile, a girl falls onto their floor, and they help her. The girl reveals that Hee-soo is sending her goons to cut off parts of all the bodies present here, and Hyang-soo was also present here. She offers money to Hyang-soo and says she knows where the money is, but initially Hyang-soo does not believe her words. After thinking for a while, he agrees, and then they find a bodysuit which was connected to the 5th floor, where they had met for the first time. Hyang-soo suggests climbing to the 5th floor, but Ju-young says there is only one way out of this floor. Hyang-soo then says that Cook is dead, but Ju-young tells him about the 2 guards who were waiting in the basement to take revenge on him. She also tells him that about $1 million is lying around in Cook's office. After this, both climb to the 3rd floor, but the earthquake survivors catch them. Ju-young, who has managed them all before, knows everything about the building and tries to take advantage of this fact and asks him to open it. She says they are all being framed. Hearing that Hee-soo has been killed and Hyang-soo is a cop who came to help them, some don't get angry or try to prove Ju-young wrong. On the contrary, he starts supporting him and tries to mislead the people who come to bid. Hyang-soo says that both of them are informers and have been sent here as part of a plan so that the backup team outside can come inside, seize all the body parts, and rescue the survivors. He also lies to Ju-young that he had been working on a secret mission for a whole year to make her believe he was really a detective. But when these people see his badge, they refuse to believe it. They also refuse to open the door. Some people thought that both of them were with those who buy and sell organs, while others were trusting him. That is why all the people who came to bid start fighting among themselves. Hyang-soo wanted to take advantage of the opportunity because he knew that if all of them fought and died, it would be easier for them to get out. But before that, a man with a knife kills 2 people, releases Hyang-soo, and asks him to get the phone from the lobby. He also threatens that if he doesn't do so, he will kill Ju-young. Hyang-soo accepts and heads to the lobby, but here, instead of taking the phone, he tries to make a temporary weapon so that when the time comes, he can use it and escape. He looks around him, and then his eyes fall on Gag, who is still alive. Seeing this, Hyang-soo hides behind a door, but unfortunately the door was broken, so he tries to enter the room. Before he can get in, a goon stops him. Seeing this, Hyang-soo gets scared and wonders whether he will be able to escape or not. But then Gag notices him and helps him. Hyang-soo also distracts the goon with Gag's help. And finally, Gag asks him once again whether he will take responsibility or not. Meaning, Gag was once again asking about the responsibility of donating a kidney to his father. On this, Hyang-soo tells him that those people had lied to him. In fact, his kidney cannot be transplanted to Gag's father because their groups do not match. Gag is disappointed upon hearing this, but Hyang-soo tells him that he can make it happen if he helps him. Gag agrees and gives him a phone, but unfortunately, there was no network. Hyang-soo doesn't give up and tells Gag that he will go to the 3rd floor, but Gag has to go to the 4th floor. Before leaving, Hyang-soo tells him about himself. He tells him about the unit at his police station where he works. After this, he reaches the 3rd floor and sees a man there. It was one of the bidders who had caught him earlier, but there was no one else except him. A woman is seen there who had killed a man, but now she was scared about what she had done and started thinking that God himself would punish her. She cries and asks Hyang-soo to free her and give her forgiveness. But Hyang-soo couldn't understand what she was doing. Actually, there was a religious woman who was afraid of God's punishment for her mistake. When Hyang-soo doesn't know what to do next, he calls Ju-young, but she was in the bathroom. Somehow Hyang-soo opens the door and sees Ju-young standing there holding an injured boy. Hyang-soo helps her in bringing the man out and asks the lady to help as well, but she refuses. Ju-young tells Hyang-soo that she was forced to do all this even though she didn't want to. After this, both go to the injured person who was counting his last breaths. But before dying, he tells Ju-young that there is a gun kept inside the fridge, but there are only 6 bullets in it. He also tells that he had a dog, but the goons killed it too. Ju-young and Hyang-soo then lay him on the bed, where he dies. After this, both of them talk, where Hyang-soo asks Ju-young about herself. She tells him she is an orphan who never had the love of her parents. She belonged to the Jewish religion, and Jews had to spend at least 18 months in a religious place. Here, the children were made to do religious work for 2 hours a week. But then she was sold for $3,000, where the person who bought her first drilled a hole in her head and then fitted a tracking device in it. Juyong also reveals that she tried to escape once, but she was caught. Then one of her kidneys was removed, and she was threatened not to do it again, otherwise her entire body would be auctioned. Hyang-soo also accepts that he is an undercover officer and was not trying to buy or sell anyone. While the two are talking, they hear some noise, and one of Hee-soo's goons tries to break into the room, but Hyang-soo beats him before he can get in, imprisons him and questions him. He tells that there are 7 more goons there, and he is one of them. Then Hyang-soo remembers that they have to steal money from Cook's room. He immediately reminds Juyong as well. So now he collects all the necessary items from the room and starts climbing to the upper floors. They proceed to the 4th floor, where Juyong points to the room saying that it is the room where the money is. But there were a few guards here, and Cook and Hee-soo were here too. That meant Cook was alive. Now these two kill everyone else present in the room. But Cook and Hee-soo were still alive. While Cook was also injured, Hee-soo explains that she's been torturing Cook for the past half hour, but he is still not ready to tell about the money. Hyang-soo then learns that Juyong doesn't know anything about the money either, so he gets upset because he was cheated. But now all of them try to join hands and talk about executing this whole plan together and taking the money. But this partnership ends with Hyang-soo only. Actually, Juyong and Hyang-soo kill Hee-soo by stabbing him badly. This is where Hyang-soo also feels very sad because he shot Cook as well, while Cook was the only one who knew where the money was. Due to this, Hyang-soo feels very sad, and in anger, he starts abusing Juyong. But Juyong also questions Hyang-soo. She questions his honesty and asks how hard he is working to maintain his image. Is he really a good person or not? Hyang-soo is sad to know this. He was also sad that Juyong had betrayed him. Her actual intention was to kill Cook. After this, Juyong wanders around the rooms and then reaches a room where she finds a biometric lock machine in the drawer. She becomes convinced that the money must be in it, but to unlock it she needed Cook's fingerprints. So she cuts Cook's hand and opens the safe, but there was no money inside. Instead, it was filled with morphine. Then she remembers that she left Hyang-soo in the basement. When she reaches the top, she is shocked to see the view outside because everything there was destroyed. Hyang-soo tells her that the intensity of the earthquake was very high. But Juyong didn't believe his words. What was even more surprising was that Gag was still alive and was asking for help. At the same time, he was also reminding them of his promise. After this, he points towards the roof. And when both of them go there and look, they become happy because, as per Gag saying, there was a safe there too. To open it, she uses Cook's severed hand, but because of the bleeding, the fingerprints were not working. So she cleans the blood from his fingers and opens the safe again, which was full of money. Both of them, without wasting time, start collecting money. Gag then asks them for help, but both refuse to take him with them. Juyong even leaves some morphine behind, and the two leave him writhing in pain on the floor. But before they can get too far, the building suddenly starts shaking, as it has become very weak. If they showed haste or ran, the building could collapse any time. Thinking this, Hyang-soo tells Juyong that when he fell into the tank, he saw a huge hole there which might help them get out. So both of them jump straight into the tank full of water and get to work. Hyang-soo finds a lever which he pulls, and all the water from the tank starts flowing out through the field, and both of them also come out. But as soon as he comes out, Hyang-soo realizes that he has lost a bag full of notes somewhere. Seeing this, he becomes very sad, but Juyong convinces him to forget what happened and be happy with what they have. After this, the entire way stops on the hill with a loud noise, and now there was nothing but dust and debris all around. But Gag had jumped into the tank before the building collapsed, and he too had now reached the shore safely. Seeing this, Hyang-soo makes a final promise to him that he will help. Meanwhile, Juyong still had doubts about Hyang-soo's identity and believed that he was not a police officer. The three of them then move forward and climb a hill where everything has turned to dust, and they make their way through barren land.